Now batting for WBCB, Paul Baroli.
Oh, thank you very much, Dan Baker. Let's hope I can come up big like Ben Francisco did last night.
I heard.
Holy cow. You know, I was like, it was a torturous evening for me last night because the band was out playing and we had an 8 o'clock show time and we were supposed to rehearse before the show, so we're supposed to be there like 6 o'clock. Well, that's like impossible anyway. I mean, we're here till 5 o'clock, so I knew that wasn't happening. But also 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock yesterday was first pitch, so I gave myself the first hour. I watched from 5 to 6. Of course, then it's nothing, and then I head down to the gig and getting set up, and it's still nothing. I get to the gig and there's no TVs.
What?
There's no TVs.
What?
There's no TVs.
No, I don't. What?
Yeah,
no.
They were listening on the radio, which, you know, I appreciate,
obviously.
But yeah, so there's no TV, so I'm getting updates told secondhand from a radio broadcast. And then it was the bottom of the ninth, and there's 2 outs, and there's a guy on second, and then they score the run, and then we're starting to think, oh boy, this is not good. And the show had started, so like people are coming back and forth to give us updates, like in between songs, and then of course we got the good news that it was all said and done, and the Phils got the win. So they do it again tonight. We move on to the National League Championship Series, and here's hoping they do it so we can have segments like we're going to have here for the next 3 weeks here on the Big Show, which I would love to do. I love these Phillies songs. I love the Red October spirit. I love the Fightin' Phils. You know that. It's nice to have a winner in town, and I'll tell you, we got a winner in our studio right now, and sort of a local singer-songwriter, if you consider Ireland local, I guess. Now making his home in Havertown, originally from across the pond. It's Chris Laffey. How are you, Chris?
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for coming in. And I got to tell you, we talked about it a little bit, but Chris is one of the most persistent guys you'll ever meet. I don't know, how many months ago did you send me this track for the first time?
We got to be going back at least 3 months, I think, right now.
For 3 months, Chris stayed on me.
I had to hound you.
He didn't let me get away, and it just so happened that the timing was right. The Phillies are red hot, and we were able to work it all out to get Chris in the studio. So I'm so glad that you're able to come in here and speak with us today and share this song. And because timing is everything, we're actually going to have the opportunity to share another song. But first things first, I want to hear about yourself, and I want to know how a songwriter from Ireland ends up in Havertown writing songs for Nashville.
Okay, so how it all started, I was 18 years old. I came to America on a soccer scholarship. I went to college in Boston. Spent 7 or 8 years there.
Took me about that long to graduate from college, too.
Yeah. And then I had family that were living in Havertown already. I have 2 sisters and a brother that live in Havertown. And so I made the big move to Havertown, and I've been there ever since.
Okay. All right, that's nice that you had family here.
Yeah, I had family, which it made it easier. And then with my songwriting, you know, I had to be persistent with that too. After many years of rejection, you know, I kept pursuing, and finally a lot of doors have opened up for me, and the future looks bright. So it's very exciting.
It is exciting. How did you get that first door open? Because you know, there's guys with notebooks and notebooks of songs that may be, you know, the next like a Rolling Stone, but we'll never hear them.
Absolutely, it was 1 in a million chance. There was a good friend of mine in California, John Platero, and I hadn't spoke to him in a good few years, and I was talking to him one day, and he said, "Are you still writing music?" And I said, "Yeah," but I said, "It's such a hard business, I can't get a break." And it was at that moment that he said he had a friend called Alphonse Kettner, and Alphonse wrote Bobby Caldwell's big hit, "What You Want to Do for Love," that was recorded by over 90 artists. So he made a phone call for me, and when the first time I did talk with Alphonse, he asked me if I had anything that he might be interested in. And it was at that moment a song that I had written called One, that I had mentioned to him on the phone, and we talked about it, and right away he fell in love with it, and after that the rest is history.
That's great. Now, you recently got some big news about the song One, right?
Absolutely. Very exciting right now. The Grammy-winning group All For One, that obviously won the Grammys and had such smash hits like I Swear, that spent 11 weeks at #1 in the pop charts. they love the song and they're going to record it.
You sing that song to Cassie, she'll take you down to the Justice of the Peace on New Falls Road and put a ring on your finger.
I don't know about that.
So it's very exciting right now. So, you know, to have, it's a dream come true for me personally, that a Grammy winner is going to record one of my songs. So, you know, it's very exciting right now.
That's amazing. It really is. And I'm so happy for you and happy to hear that. And we're actually going to play the song. Before I do, though, I want you to tell us a little bit about the song itself. The song is called One.
The song is called One, and it was actually how I wrote this was, there was a friend of mine that was diagnosed with cancer, and it hit me very hard at the time. And that night I went home and I wrote the song. And as I said, when I was in touch with Mr. Alphonse Kettner, and he loved it, I got a good friend of his who's a very successful songwriter in Nashville, Corey Lee Barker, and the three of us collaborated on a song. We finished it up, and the song right now is finished by Chemo Forrest. Chemo Forrest is a great musician and producer in Nashville, and his band is called Cash Creek, and that's who's going to sing the song right now that you're going to play.
Okay, so this is Cash Creek performing Chris Laffey's song One, and this song has just been picked up to be recorded by
All for One.
Amazing. Here it is, One. Chris Laffey is in our studio right now.
To know this waiting room too well, I can hardly tell if I'm coming or I'm going. These days she barely finds the will to breathe, and it's killing me, but my faith just keeps on growing. Lord, I'm as broken as she is tonight, and only you can make it right. Grant me one simple prayer, one sign that you're up there, watching over someone who believes in you. She's my one and only love. Let her feel your perfect touch. If you've got a miracle to spare, send her one. Doctors say they've done all they can do. Now it's up to you. So I'm on my knees. I can see you in the best of her. Give me the rest of her. She'll get the best of me. I don't know how much longer she can last. If she goes, I go, 'cause our two hearts beat as one simple prayer, one sign that you're up there, watching over someone who believes in you. She's my one and only love. Let her feel your perfect touch. If you've got a miracle to spare, send her one. All things are possible for those who trust in you. Well, that's exactly who I am and what I'll do with my one simple prayer, one sign that you're up there, watching over someone who believes in you. She's my one and only love. Let her feel your perfect touch. If you've got a miracle to spare, send her one. Send her one.
County's Best 1490 WBCB. Cache Creek performing it. Chris Laffey, who is in our studio, wrote that song. Beautiful song, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How's it? You told us, the inspiration of where that came from, but how do the songs come to you? I mean, do they just come to you? Is it a divine thing, or do you sit and focus and really chart it out?
It's funny. It can just be from just a comment that someone makes. It's a personal experience in my life, and when I just get a feel for a song, it really comes easy for me to write. And then dealing a lot now with Alphonse Kettner and Corey Lee Barker in Nashville, it's just like it's a great team. We just finished up 2 more songs last week in Nashville, Flip Flops and Bear, and You're My Forever. So there's more exciting stuff that's on the way, hopefully.
Great. When did you write your first song?
Gotta be probably 10-12 years ago. So it's been at least a good 9-10 years of working hard. And
okay. So you're an adult when you wrote. I mean, you weren't like...
I'm not too old.
I don't know how old you are, but I'm thinking you weren't 12 or 13 years old 10 years ago.
Thanks, I'm that young, and I'm 36, so probably early 20s I really, really started getting into it. But I just always had a dream and never given up. And, one day hearing my song on the radio, which has happened, and then after that, hopefully to start having some hits, which is looking good for the future.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it's very exciting.
Absolutely.
So it is very exciting.
So I'm assuming your love for the Phillies came from Havertown.
Absolutely.
And the Irish connection in Havertown, which we're certainly glad for.
Yeah, it's a big Irish connection in Havertown, and obviously the Phillies. That's what's happening right now in Philadelphia and all over. And when I was driving...
the only people wearing green these days are the Irish in Philadelphia.
So it was a couple of years ago, I was driving to North Wildwood, and I was listening to the Phillies on the radio, and I just got an idea about Love Our Fighting Phillies. And when I got there and I got to the beach, I took my notebook out and I wrote the song. And as I said, that's what we have today.
Always carry a notebook with you?
I always do, and I always have a voice recorder with me, be it at my bedside or in my car, so if I have an idea, I don't lose it.
That's great. That's great. So. It's funny, it's funny you say that, because I had an idea the other night. I was trying to sleep, and I was tossing and turning, and I get this, like a chorus to a song pop in my head. And I'm laying there, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good, and I'm kind of singing it over and over and over. And I'm sure it's one of those things where you think to yourself, and a lot of times I just say, you know what, I'm going to sleep. If I wake up and I still have it in my head, then it's good enough, and I'm going to keep it. But for some reason, I said to myself, you know what? Let's just get up and write it down. I got up, I wrote down the words, and by the time I turned around to lay back down in bed, I couldn't remember how the melody went. I just had words on a page that meant nothing.
It's very important. It's something I always do. I just record it.
So you need a recorder next to your bed at that point.
I guess I'm learning here.
I sing into the recorder. I just try and get the feel for the song, and then I don't lose it. So when I do play it, it's like, oh great, I know where I'm at. And, as I said, it comes easy, which I'm very blessed to be able to do. So I'm very thankful for that.
Absolutely. Now, do you perform as well?
I used to perform karaoke. That was about it. No, I'm not a singer. I'm a writer.
Okay, it's good that you know that. There's a lot of guys who don't, man.
I let the guys do the singing. I'll concentrate on the writing.
That's great. Does that pose challenges as you're writing a song that you don't necessarily sing them yourself, or do you sing it enough on your own that you can put the song together?
I sing it enough on my own that I can put it together. And like I said, with the guys that I'm involved with right now, it's just a great team. So everything is just coming together perfectly for us right now. And as I said, we have a bunch of songs that we'll be bringing out in the next year.
That's great.
So it's very good.
Let's get to the Phillies, shall we?
Absolutely.
Big game tonight, 6 o'clock, right here on BCB. We love our fighting Phillies. We love these Phillies songs, and we're going to love this one. It's Chris Laffey, and this song is performed by Cache Creek.
Cache Creek and Chemo Forest.
And so a Philly song recorded in Nashville.
In Nashville. It took me a little bit of time to get the guys on board, but it was well worth it in the end. So we're very excited, and a lot of people already enjoy it. So that's good for as a writer that I've had so much feedback and people calling me and thanking me and people telling me how their kids sing the song now and their grandparents and so forth. So and there's a good friend of mine in Havertown that owns a sports shop, Carl's Cards, and he has all the Phillies players that come in there all the time. Cliff Lee was there last week, Hunter Pence, and he gives all the players a CD every time they come in as well. So it's touching a lot of people, so it's fun.
That's great. Let's check check it out. Love Our Fightin' Phils by Chris Laffey, performed by Cash Creek here on BCB.
At the ballpark tonight, all screaming Phillies fans in sight. We love our red and white. Know what we're gonna do. Gonna drink a few cold ones, chow a few dogs down. Gonna party all night and sing a few songs. So if you love your fighting Phillies, let me hear you scream, hey, hey, hey. I can still see Tug McGraw pitching out there. Harry Callis screaming that the ball's out of here. Philly fanatic running wild everywhere. Love our fighting Phillies. Love our fighting Phillies. Love our fighting Phillies. People know we're crazy fans. We love to support our team. We've got one-track minds. Winning, to us it's everything. Oh, we got grandmas, little kids and regular Joes, all cheering along to what we know. It's all about our fighting Phillies. Come on and scream, hey, hey, hey. I can still see Tug McGraw pitching out there. Harry Callis screaming that ball's out of here. Philly fanatic running wild everywhere. Love our fighting Phillies. Love our fighting Phillies. Love our fighting Phillies. I can still see Tug McGraw pitching out there. Harry Callis screaming that ball's out of here. Philly fanatic running wild everywhere. We love our fighting Phillies. Love our fighting Phillies. Love our fighting Phillies.
Love it. Oh, man.
Awesome.
Love Our Fightin' Phillies. Now, if our audience loved it as much as we do, which I imagine they will, where can they hear it some more? Where can they pick it up?
You can hear it some more. Love Our Fightin' Phillies is available on iTunes, Rhapsody, Verizon, and it's Love Our Fightin' Phillies by Cash Creek, so it can be downloaded on all those sites.
All right,
Yeah,
fantastic.
so it's
Anywhere our listeners can keep tabs on you and how the songwriting is going and what's up with Chris Laffey.
Absolutely. I have no problem giving out my email address if anyone ever wants to shoot me an email. I like to keep in touch with people and maybe get some inspiration too from any ideas. So my email is Chris, C-H-R-I-S, Laffey, L-A-F-F-E-Y, @hotmail.com.
All right.
You know, so feel free to email me if you have any questions.
All right. Well, hey, the question is just how big is this song going to get, and how many more weeks this October can we play this song? And the thing that is so great about that song is that it's not going to expire at the end of this Phillies run, whether it ends in a World Series or not. I mean, you just talk about the legends and Phillies history in there, that this can be a time-cherished thing for generations, really.
Absolutely, and that was our goal when we wrote it, was to keep people in the song that are a big part of Phillies history. So, and everyone involved, the people involved in this song, I'd just like to say, is Chemo Forrest and Cash Creek, obviously, myself, Alphonse Kettner, and Tyler Henderson, who's another writer in Nashville. So I'd like to say thank you to those guys too for most importantly being good friends to me, but again helping me achieve my goals and my dreams with their help. So I'd like to say thank you to the guys if they're listening too.
All right. Well, thanks for helping them and helping them get here, because this has been great, and I love the song, and I'm excited that I'm going to be able to share it with our audience throughout this whole entire Phillies run, and when we get set for Phillies baseball in the spring again. And I wish you the best of luck. I mean, good luck with the new song One and getting it recorded by the big stars, and we hope we hear a lot more from you.
Absolutely, and And thank you very much for having me in here today.
Our pleasure.
Greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Pleasure. Chris Laffey. And if you want to email him, it's chrislaffey@hotmail.com. Check him out on iTunes. Cash Creek performing his song, Love Our Fightin' Phils. Let's take a short break, and we'll come back with some more music here on Coffee with Kahuna.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your home for the playoffs and the #1 sports bar in North America, Chickies and Pete's. This is Dan Baker, the voice of the ballpark. Where else but in the sports capital of the world would you find the #1 sports bar in North America and your home for the playoffs, Chickies and Pete's. The best in-game experience, bread-dipping good crabs, world-famous crab fries, and the finest finger food anywhere. Nobody beats Chickies and Pete's. Go to chickiesandpete's.com for details. Chickies and Pete's for the playoffs. Where else?
Treasure Hunters Roadshow is paying on the spot this week only at the Ramada in Bordentown for any gold jewelry, gold coins, pre-1965 silver coins, guitars, antiques, and collectibles. Gold and silver prices are through the roof right now. It's a modern-day gold rush. Now is the time to cash in. Hot items right now are broken herringbone necklaces, old class rings, mismatched earrings, sterling silverware sets, silver coins like the pre-1965 Washington quarters, Mercury and Roosevelt dimes, silver dollars and half dollars. We're also looking for vintage guitars, war relics like swords or bayonets, old pocket watches, old 10, 12, 15-cent comic books, and antique toys. If it's old, gold, or silver, we want to see it. We had a gentleman bring in an old pocket watch and walk out with over $700. A lady came in with some broken gold and a few coins, walked out with over $315. The event is free to attend, and we have over $250,000 to spend this week at the Ramada in Bordentown, Tuesday through Saturday. Show hours 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday and 9 to 4 Saturday. Hope to see you there.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full